Hi there. I thought I'd share some ideas from my Montessori perspective about what you can do at home with your children, just in general, and especially during this pandemic that we're unfortunately experiencing right now. You can start by having them help with everyday practical life things in your home. You can show them how to use a dustpan and a brush and have them clean up their own spills, their own crumbs after lunch. You can have them sweep the table with a table brush or the floor with a floor brush. They can have their own mop, broom for cleaning up, and all you need to do is just show them how that's done, and they'll follow through, getting better and better at it as they go. Though the children can help you set the table for lunch or for dinner, what you need to do is just give them a little presentation, so to speak, of how to set the table. You have to start by showing them how to carry the dishes properly. I'm talking about really little ones, and show them how to take the plates to each spot. Let's say you're a family of 4. Show them how to carry the plate to the place that it belongs, and then allow them to do that for the next spot, and you do that for the 4 spots. Then you do the same thing with the cutlery, with the forks, knives, spoons, again, one at a time. Children have to walk carefully and hold the items carefully with 2 hands. And once that's done, and it's repeated a few times, your child will absorb it and will be able to repeat the process better and better each time. Because they'll know how to do it. You just need to be there to guide them and be by their side throughout the process while they learn. If your child is very young and you think that they might not be able to remember where the items go, you can also have little plastic placemats available to them. We had a large tablecloth, and we had embroidered or we had drawn table settings in each individual spot. So this particular spot had a circle for where the plate goes, the size of the plate, and then the outline of a fork, a knife, a spoon, a serving spoon, and a glass, and that was in everybody's spot on this tablecloth. But if you're not going to make a tablecloth, then you can just make individual plastic washable placemats and draw a picture of the outline of a plate, the plate that you use preferably, the outline of the cutlery and of the glass, and then show the children in the same way I said to show them without the placemats, one item at a time, and plates first, then so on and so forth, and that'll be their job, and it will give them some purpose for that, and I think they'd quite enjoy that. They can also, again, I'm talking about little ones. They can also help prepare a salad. And if you set it up, you can have a little bit of a tray, or if you don't have a tray, you can even do it on a little table. What you need to do is put the pre-cut items in little dishes. Let's say you'd like to put tomatoes in your salad. So you dice your tomatoes and put them in a little dish. You cut up your cucumber and put it in a little dish. And you've cut up your lettuce and you've put it in a little bit of a bigger dish. And once all those things are set out for your child, they can easily then pour or spoon the items into a bigger bowl, which is also available for them, and they can take the salad dressing, which you can put into a little pitcher, and I find pitchers I live in Toronto, so in Chinatown, perfect, but you can also get them in stores like Value Village, in thrift shops, and you can get them in, I haven't seen any in IKEA, but there's a lovely set of dishware, so little bowls and little plates at IKEA, and little shot glasses that we used in the environment that are perfect for toddlers. So anyway, so once you've set up that area for preparation of a salad, the child can then follow through once you give them the first lesson, and then hopefully they're able to do this every day for dinner, let's say. That could be their contribution. Again, with older children, you can give them bigger tasks, like pulling apart the lettuce or cutting, depending on whether your child has experience in Montessori and whether they've been shown to cut or not. I don't want any children getting hurt that haven't been exposed to knives, so just use your own discretion. You can also, of course, bake with your children, and I know many of you do. With the little ones, again, all you need to do is set out a tray or a table and put the pre-measured ingredients in little dishes for them. Have their baking bowl and there's the spoon that they need for stirring available right there for them. And then show them the process, one step at a time. You show them how to put the flour into the bowl. Show them how to crack an egg. Show them in the order that it's done, and then show them how to stir. And again, this will be a process that you can do together that will eventually be something that they'll be able to do for you and for your family and for themselves in the future. So enjoy it. With regards to older children, they can research their own recipes with your assistance in cookbooks and online with you, if you allow online searches. You just have to be with them and be present and aware, right? Research recipes that they really want to do, that then just teach them, give them a lesson in measurements and how those work. Make sure they understand what a cupful is and what that means and what a pinch is and all these words that apply to baking and cooking, and then they'll be able to do that with your assistance. And again, step by step. Don't let them waste food. Show them how it's done, and they can go from there. Eventually, that little recipe that they've done will become something that they perfect if they're given the opportunity to practice, right? I'll give you a little recipe for banana muffins that I've made with children in the past and that have been quite yummy, and hopefully you can start there. But even if it's a matter of making pancakes in the morning every day together, that could be something that you do together every day in the way that I've just explained, by setting it out for them so that they're not dumping a whole bunch of things together and wasting. We don't want that, Resources are limited right now, and in general, we just don't want waste. So try it and see how it goes, and let me know your thoughts. And let's see what else I have here. Well, I can't stress this enough. Go for long walks. I know we're stuck at home, but most of us are still able to go outside to get fresh air, and so take the opportunity to take your children for long walks. Talk about what you see. Even if your child isn't speaking yet, talk about what you see. I see a squirrel climbing a tree. Do you see that brown squirrel climbing the tree? It's jumping right onto the electrical cable. And now it's climbing up something else, so on and so forth. Just engage them and speak beautifully. can't stress that enough. Speak clearly, concisely, and most importantly, beautifully. Don't use baby talk. Children understand a lot more than we give them credit for. They're so capable. Speak to them like you would be speaking to another adult, and they'll learn the words that you use. They'll register it, they'll absorb it, and when they're ready, they'll use it with you and with the rest of the world. And we want them speaking beautifully. So speak beautifully, because they model everything, right? When you're on your walk, let your children walk along the curb, because, and I'm talking about the little ones, because that helps with their motor development. They can develop it if they're younger and refine it if they're a little bit older. So let them walk along the curb. Let them jump off things that you feel comfortable them jumping off of, and let them climb. Let them strengthen their bodies and move. Let them explore the backyard. Name everything you see. If you don't know the name of the bud that's coming up, research it. Think about what you can teach them. Take these opportunities, these moments to teach, and speak beautifully. And they'll take it all in, because little children don't have any filters. They just take it all in and figure it out somewhere a little bit later on down the line, after the age of 3. So this is the opportunity to expose them to the world and to the most beautiful things, the most beautiful language, and the most beautiful art and music and culture. Allow music like classical music and jazz to play regularly, and when you play it, tell them that you're playing a piece by Mozart. Tell them what the song is called. And do that every time. You'll be surprised, but they'll remember that. They'll know. When you choose books for your children, choose books that are beautiful, that have beautiful drawings, that have beautiful language. Choose books that are based in reality. Books about animals, about people, about the body, about food, about construction vehicles, all these things. Children are fascinated by these things, and there are many books out there that cover these topics. And then if your child is a little older, over, let's say 2.5, and they're fascinated by construction vehicles, which a lot of children are, for example, you could be sharks, it could be anything, but let's just say it's construction vehicles, then get more books about that. Talk about that more. You do some research and tell them a story. Maybe draw pictures of them. Anything you can do to engage that child and to support their fascination will help them, and you can use the opportunity to, again, give them the language for the items and to show them or teach them the ways of communicating with another person, one-on-one interaction. If your child is younger, they might not be able to speak back yet, but they're taking it all in. Don't worry. The language will come on their own time. And if they're ready and finally able and feel confident enough to, and trusting enough to tell you, to speak to you, to share with you, please don't correct them. Let them express themselves in the way they can. Everything else will fall into place. They'll learn about verbs and how things are, the structure of sentences later on. Right now, they're just at the beginning stages and they're just expressing themselves in the way that they've figured out. They've done a lot in here to get to the point where they are. So don't hinder that. Please let them do it on their own time, and eventually their language will become perfected by listening to you and other people speak beautifully. So I hope these tips help, and if I think of anything else, I'll share them here with you. I wish you all the best during this difficult time, and I'd like you to remember that it will be over soon. It's not forever, and all the best to you and your families, and I hope you enjoy this time together as a family, and I hope you see all the joyful moments that come out of this time together, and really remember what it's all about. Take care. Talk to you soon.